Hi, so this is my week 9 monologue for wood technology and design tree. So this week I've added in my design approach. So I've jumped around between the pieces. Then I've got included in my each separate page where I've jumped from. So I might jump from need finding to initial ideas, then initial ideas to research. So I show that kind of throughout. I haven't totally finished, so there's a few gaps where they need to be filled in still. And I'm still moving stuff from PowerPoint because I did everything on a PowerPoint originally, but the file became too big. So the evaluation hasn't been moved in yet, but I have most of them done. Um, so just from feedback, it was said that um, don't have all the headings laid out, like show the design approach. So what I've done is I've gone like maybe exploration. I showed how I did some need finding here at the start and how I went from need finding to initial ideas, and then I've got my initial ideas underneath. But then I might move from initial ideas to developed ideas. That's kind of a later on stage, but then it's kind of hope that the person looking would go from initial ideas up to developed ideas and continue from there. Um, I've also done need finding to analysis. So I've got my need finding section here. I've also gone from need finding to research. So I looked at the feedback and how it said I shouldn't follow the headings and kind of have it laid out. So kind of much in an order, and that it should show the design approach. I hope that this kind of way shows it enough. If not, I'll follow the feedback and change it around for next week. So how I've gone from need finding to research. So then I'll just go to the research page. Um, so I've added these in kind of all along on all the different tabs up at the top. Um, So I've got my research section. Most of this is the same material as covered in previous monologues. Um, just wait for it to load up there now. Internet's a bit slow. So yeah, I've got my research section. I've researched different things. So that's mostly on loneliness as a social issue. So then I've gone from research back to my initial ideas, and I've looked at marquetry or parquetry. One of my the points in the feedback was why did I do veneers? So one of the main reasons was one second, I'll just change to PowerPoint. So one of the main reasons was I felt this is the parquetry method. I felt for the following Dieter Ram's design guide for or his 10 best principles on or 10 principles on design guide on good design is I kind of messed that up. Good design is long lasting. So I felt for the design of my chessboard to be long lasting, I would need to do veneers because I researched parquetry and the strips of wood would over time shrink, and this wouldn't be good for my for the chessboard in the long run. So that's why I went with marquetry for this chessboard. So for this week 9 submission, it was the create section. So develop ideas, experiment, and realize. So um, I've shown how my design approach jumped to develop your ideas. It's if you follow like each heading all along and scroll down, be kind of you'll get the idea of the design approach. Um, and hopefully, again, that's okay for showing how my design jumped around the place. Um, Most of that was covered in the lab. So then I've gone from developed ideas to realize. There was a part with experiment, and I was actually show that in there as well. Um, so if we just go to experiment, so that's how I experimented with the cardboard to decide on the sizes and the shape of the artifact. So again, I bring my research into it and investigation, how I got the hand length for reaching, picking up the pieces, and also how I got the hip breadth. So that was number 19. That's that part there. So the size of the piece on the user's lap. Um, so most of that is my experimentation. Shows how the experimentation leads back to my initial ideas. Um, so you can follow that. But we'll just go to the realize section. Um, so just realizing the piece. Most of this was done in the lab before the college closed, so I'll need to start on the or finish it off with cardboard. I said why I did veneers for marquetry rather than the solid wood for parquetry. Um, like I said, that's found in the research and investigation section. So faced some problems with the CNC, came out wrong because we entered the wrong measurements in, me and Richie. There's a bit of confusion between um, communication, I suppose. That's why we made a mistake. So we started over, but that was fine. So that's what it looks like. Um, so I do have all the evaluation pieces, most of them done anyway, not all, but I'll be adding them in now in the coming week. One thing that I did have from the feedback was week 8 feedback. So it says, why are you doing the last point, why are you doing a high fidelity prototype? All this facility. So kind of my understanding was that we had to do a prototype um, for the model or for the artifact submission. So I'm just a bit confused with that point. Hopefully I'll get a bit of clarification on that. The other thing was, there are all those. I had some pictures of just need to find it. So I just stuck the veneers onto the piece that I had and got some chess pieces that I'd sourced from an old chessboard that was actually broken. So they're also upcycled, all those pieces. So I was just looking to see what it would actually look like. So it's a bit disappointing that we didn't get to finish this to high standard in the college. But yeah, hopefully the prototype can be used somehow, or maybe I'll try and finish this over the summer. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, that's pretty much it for this week's monologue. So main thing there was I added my design approach. I still have to finish that off though. I've only added some of the ones from jumping from say initial ideas to research, so I must add all the rest of them. There's a lot of ones to be added along the way. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. Thanks.